Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. How's everybody doing tonight? Give it a minute, make sure everything is working properly. Everybody can hear me okay? Yep, here we go, Wisconsin Prepper. I saw the comment that you made, Wisconsin Prepper, about how the video hadn't even started yet and it was 5 thumbs down already. So I thought that was pretty funny too. That happens quite a bit. What are you going to do? So, so first of all, let me just, before we get started, I want to just ask everybody to please be kind to each other in the comments. Asheville, North Carolina. I was not too far from there. I lived in Chapel Hill, but Asheville's up in the mountains. I've been up to Asheville. It's a beautiful area up there. So anyway, sorry, got distracted. Again, please just be kind to each other in the comments. It's about everybody working together here and being this is like a big family. So I want people to be decent to each other. And if you have a question, I'm going to talk a little bit first. And then if you have a question, please all cap locks for your questions, okay? So building prepper communities. So I have taken the initiative with that. I talked about it in another video. And what I have done, and I went and some expense to myself. I had to get some of these, they're called plugins and stuff. So I went ahead and I purchased those. And I have it set up now, and with the help of my IT guy, Mike, who is absolutely awesome, we have it now set up on my website, preppernurse1.com, that whatever state you're in, also to include Canada, Great Britain, Australia, Sweden, and Germany to start out with. And if you are in any state or in any country, what you can do is you go to my website and you can register at my website. And just so you know, anybody that goes to my website, you just can't see. You have to be registered. So it's not like anybody can just come in and look to see what's going on. And you register for whatever state that you're in to be able to talk with other people from your state, to be able to form groups, to be able to talk, to be able to connect with each other. From, like, if you were from Georgia and you go in and you say, okay, well, I live in Atlanta, for example. And so you're putting in your information for what part of the state you're in and your email and stuff like that. And then somebody else from a different part of Atlanta or a different part of Georgia has joined the group, and they say, oh my God, this person's 40 or 50 miles away from me. So you can contact each other that way, and that way interact and talk. And number one, it's talking with like-minded people. Number one, it's a great way to form groups. Okay, the kids are here, they're home. It's a great way to form groups, and and then also just like talking, like I said, again, with like-minded people. And if you want to try to form a prepper group, and do it with people that are local to you. And when I say local, I generally mean within 100 miles of each other. That's generally a good circumference of somebody that if there is an emergency, even 200 miles, to be honest with you, that you would have time to get to wherever you were trying to go to. So, and like I said, there's no charge for this, guys. I'm not charging anybody anything. You go to my website, you register at my website, whatever state you're in, if you're in the United States, obviously, whatever state you're in, you just go ahead and put that information in there, and then that way you'll have access to everybody in that state that is also from Ohio or Wisconsin or wherever, and it's going to be a great way to interact with each other. And if you're looking to form a group, I get a lot of people want to know how do I get together with a group? How can I find a group? And so I got my tea, and so they're always looking, how do I find a group? Well, this is going to be a really great way to meet people that are in your state. And let's say you lived in like where I'm in New York, okay? So I'm also maybe interested in people that live in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to join New York group, for the state, and then I may do Pennsylvania as well to see if there's other people that are, because Pennsylvania is probably an hour away from where I live. Okay, so it's not that far. So those would be people that I would want to try to actually hook up with as well. So if you join, whatever state that you're in, and maybe if you're close to another state on the border, like South Carolina, North Carolina, you'd want to join both of those states. So, and that's how we're going to do it. And it's a great way to interact with people. And, if you're looking to meet like-minded people in your area, that's the way we're going to be doing it. So, I think it's going to be really fun. And like I said, it's very, very private. So like nobody can just come into my website and say, well, I'm going to see who's in what state. You have to be registered. You have to register. Okay. So that way it gives you guys privacy, and like a looky-loo just can't come in and try to figure out who's in what state and get their information. It's not about that. It's about, connecting with people that, like-minded and stuff like that. So that's the way we're going to do it. And hopefully, I think it's going to be real successful, because I know a lot of people have on my channel here have come and said, how do I meet people? How do I meet people locally? How do I meet people in my own state? And I think this is going to be, I live near Ed. Yep. Ed James. Yep. So, how do you meet people? So that's probably the best way that I wanted to try to figure something out. And I talked about it before. So that's why we decided to do this. And, Mike is working behind the scenes, and he's going to continue to tweak things on that part of the website so that it works better and people can interact better and stuff like that. But he's put some hard work into it. And, so it's going to be a good thing. And it's a benefit, I think, for people that, like I said, it's just another great way to, more privately communicate with other people. And if you want to hook up with people and talk with people and then meet people, that's completely on your own and your own, discretion to do that. So I think that's going to be a really, really good thing. I'm a registered lone wolf. Okay, that's fine. So, but anyway, so that's what we're talking about. So if you really looking to make prepper communities, this is going to be a great way to do it. And so it's my way too of like, I'm always trying to figure out new ways that we can all get together and work together. And when I talk about that a lot, guys, when I say that, like at the end of my videos, that we are all in this together, we really, truly are. And I know it's scary to meet new people and to have that trust for strangers, but, you have to figure that out. You got to take those chances. If you don't ever take a chance, you're never going to have that opportunity. I would rather take the chance and reach out and talk to 10 people, okay, and find out that 7 of those 10 people are awesome people, somebody that I want to work with, somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can form a friendship with, that's like-minded ahead of time. And 3 of them are people that I'm like, yeah, you know what, they are way over the edge. I don't want to be around those type of people. Weed them out now. That's the best way to do it, okay? And that, that's my opinion on, to be able to weed people out if you don't want to do that. So again, this is all up to you guys, okay? All up to you guys. So it's, it's an open forum, and, like I said, but nobody from the outside can just come in and look. You have to be registered. So you go in, you register in whatever state that you're in, be it California, be it Nevada, wherever. And then that way you can see who's in your state also. And you can say, okay, well, I live here and they live there. That's not that far. Shoot them an email, talk with each other. And then maybe you can connect. And, that the more people the more options that you have in that emergency situation. And I think the best part about it is meeting and talking with like-minded people. As preppers, as people wanting to live off grid, we are a very, very small niche community. And a lot of people, have just not, they think that we're crazy and everything else. So to be able to interact with like-minded people, I think is going to be a really, really good thing. So anyway, so that's, like I said, again, we got more people in the chat now. So I'm just going to kind of repeat myself real quick again. For setting up prepper communities on my website, preppernurse1.com, we have a thing in there now where you go in, you register, and it doesn't cost anything. This is completely free, guys, okay? I set this up at my own expense, okay? But I did it because I wanted to have a place where people could go, be comfortable, interconnect with people from their own state, okay, or surrounding states, whatever you're comfortable with, okay? So this way we can meet other like-minded peoples in our area, And because like I said, just even from my channel, I have met a lot of people within an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours away from where I'm at, just because of my YouTube channel, which is great. Otherwise, that opportunity never would have been there. Okay. So here's an opportunity for people to get together, like-minded people, to meet, to interact. And I think it's going to be a fantastic thing. So again, like I said, go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you register for whatever state that you want to be a part of. You put your name and your information in there, and that way you can connect with people. Like I said, you have to put your phone number, but you could put like your email address, and and say who you are and stuff like that. And the only people that are going to be able to see that are other people that are registered for that state. So it's not like you can go in and look at every state unless you registered in that state or country. Like with Canada, if you're from Canada and you're looking to meet other like-minded people in Canada, you register, and it's going to give you the list of the people that are in Canada. And we're not going to do it by regions of Canada. We're just going to do the whole country of Canada. Same thing with Great Britain. Same thing with Australia. So that way, and that way you could connect with people from your own country as well, which I think is a really, really cool thing. Let's see. Can you do anything trying you want? Yes, you can. Yeah. Yep. Just made an account from Texas. Oh, cool. Very cool. Ace of Spades. All right, cool. Yeah, and like I said, I plan on interacting with people too. So if you want to contact me, I'm an open book, guys. I mean, you ask anybody out there. I talk to people all the time. I talk to people every single day. So if you want to reach out to me and talk with me, just shoot me an email. Give me your phone number. I will call you. It may take a while. Sometimes I get behind on stuff. I'll be honest with you. But I try to get back to everybody if I can. And if I forget, just send me another email, because I do forget. I'm not perfect. So, this is an open thing for everybody to try to connect with people again. And I think this is just a really good opportunity for like-minded people to get together and talk. And like I said, if you go into there and if you're having any issues, there's going to be a help button. Okay. So you hit the help button, and either myself or Mike will contact you and help you with whatever problems you have. If somebody is in there being a jerk, okay, they have to be registered, first of all. They can't just go in and be a jerk. So they have to be registered. So if anybody's bothering somebody or harassing somebody, please let myself or Mike know, through the information, that's available there through the help button and whatnot, and we will get rid of people. This is not about people stalking each other or trying to hurt each other. This is about like-minded people that are preppers, that are off-gridders, that want to work together, that want to make contact with like-minded people. This is what this whole thing is about. Okay, so it's a very, very safe and secure environment, and so there's no worries there. Okay, I want to put that out there for everybody. What do we got? Prepper Rabbit. Hey, Prepper Rabbit, how you doing tonight, buddy? Glad to see you're still upright. Let's see. Yeah, okay. The Prepper says anyone from New York City. Again, go on there, say exactly where you're from. There's got to be a lot of preppers in New York City. You got, 6 or 8 million people in New York City? So there's got to be other preppers there. So go on, say where you're from. I mean, even if Queens, Long Island, all that. You guys are all pretty close in that area. Even New Jersey. If you're in New Jersey, join New Jersey and join New York. So in that way, you can look for people in both of those areas. So they're very, very close together. Do I think a massive hurricane can cause SHTF? Locally, in that area, absolutely. I mean, you look at the different devastations that we've had through the years in different, parts down there. It affects that region pretty heavily, but it wouldn't cause a world, or countrywide SHTF, because other parts of the country wouldn't be affected, other than like if it hits in different parts of Florida, and the orange crop is not going to be what it normally is, so the orange prices are going to go up. That's how it would affect other people. But it definitely would, in a localized area, it would definitely be an SHTF situation. Would you care if I did a video to shut out your webpage? No, not at all, Prepper Rabbit. Go right ahead. Thank you. That's fine. Like I said, guys, if you want to put it out there too, and here's the other thing. Put it out on social media, whatever. like-minded preppers, if they're interested and they want to meet, like even like this video will go on my Facebook page as well. Okay. So, people that are interested and want to get together with like-minded people, it's not, like I said, put it out there on social media, put it out there on Twitter, whatever, and just let people know that if they want to hook up with like-minded people, where they can go to do it. And like I said, it's very secure. It's going to be very safe. Everybody and anybody just can't go in and look. You have to be registered. So when you're registering, you're giving me and my IT guy, Mike, the information. Hey, Carlos, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Thank you. So, like I said, this is a very secure thing, and it's going to be very, very safe. So it's not like I'm not going to share your information, guys, with everybody and anybody. I'm not selling anybody's information. So that's a good thing about this, too. Like I said, this is not going to be a pay site. This is not, there's no, you're not joining up and having to pay a membership. This is all free. Okay. I'm doing this out of my own pocket, like I said, because I really wanted to, from the feedback that I got from the channel, and people wanting to try to hook up and meet with other people. And I thought, how are we going to do this? And me and Mike brainstormed. That's my IT guy. And we talked about it. And, we went over what we had to do, and we made it happen. And like I said, a lot of it goes to Mike. Mike is my behind the scene guy that does all the technical stuff for me. Okay. So again, Mike, thank you. I mean, I know you already know that, and I thank you all the time, but thank you again. So, but do you think there is any truth about an upcoming pole shift? Yes, I absolutely. I'm gonna actually be doing a video. We're gonna do a chat. I'm gonna have a guest come on and talk about that, about the pole shift, of what's going on with that. There's definitely a pole shift happening. So we will definitely be doing a video about that. Okay. So we will definitely be doing that. Do I believe the global elites are reptilians, or is that just a YouTube joke? I don't think they're reptilian. I do believe that there are extraterrestrial beings that are more in control of certain things, and they use people. And I mean, there's been talk that there's different types. There's like the gray man and the reptilian. That could be. I don't know for sure, to be honest with you. But there's definitely people that are in control of things that are not us, that are probably not human beings. Okay. There's people that are human beings that are in control as well, but their strings are being pulled by somebody else. And that very well could be a higher power thinking beings that are not from the planet Earth. Okay, so that's just my opinion on that. Oh, you're very welcome, MBG. You're very, very welcome. It's all everything, guys. And for me, it's about sharing. You guys, I get as much knowledge back, I'll be honest with you, from a lot of you guys that I give out. I have people that shoot me text messages and instant message on Facebook all the time of different information, and you know who you are. So I don't have to tell you who you are, but it's like, that's great. All that information sharing is fantastic, and we can really, learn from each other. So I learn a lot too, I'll be honest with you. Do you think, let's see. Mike is the brains of the outfit. He's a technical guy. All right. He's got brains too, though. Yeah. That part of it. He is like an idiot savant. Okay. That's his element, man. And he loves it. And he knows I'm not saying anything negative about it, but that's his thing. And he loves it. He knows his stuff. So, and how did I meet Mike? Right through my YouTube channel, guys. That's how I met him. And we've become good friends, and he's a good person. So, what do you think would be a good inventory to put in a bug out bag? Okay, Megan, good things to have in a bug out bag. Some kind of way to purify water, be it a Sawyer straw, a Katadyn water filter. Definitely get the pellets. You can get the pellets at any kind of sporting goods store. Some way to purify water is number one, real important, because without that fresh water, you're going to be in big trouble real quick. You're going to want to have some kind of a tarp in there, so you can have a shelter if it's raining, that you can make a shelter to get underneath so you can get out of the weather. You're going to want to have paracord, 550 paracord. You're going to want to have a good knife. Okay, you're going to want to have a flint and steel, some way to make a fire. Okay, those are real important things. Extra lighters and stuff like that too, not bad to have, but having that flint and steel is a good thing as well. So you can do it that way. Also, you're going to want to have extra warm clothes in a bug out bag. Wool socks if you can get wool socks. You're going to want to have, there's so many things that you could put into a bug out bag. Definitely some kind of food for at least 2 to 3 days, depending on how far you have to travel. Energy bars, those type of things as well. I would definitely have those in a bug out bag. But an emergency blanket, one of those like silver emergency blankets, or have a couple of those, because those are going to radiate that heat back into you if you're cold. So there's just a couple of things for you. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Do I have a root cellar or plan to put one in? I do not have a root cellar at the moment, but yes, I absolutely do plan on putting one in. I think it's real important to have a root cellar if you can do it, because you're going to be able to put the vegetables in there, and it's going to stay a lot cooler. Once you get underneath the frost line, which up here in New York is about 2 feet, you're looking at a constant temperature of about 58 degrees, and that's really going to help prolong the life of your apples, potatoes, carrots, squash, whatever you have in your root cellar. That's going to help that a lot. You got to make sure it's sealed. Yes, definitely make sure it's sealed, or otherwise critters will get in there and get to your stuff. So that's important. So life straws are awesome. Yeah, they are. They're not that expensive either. How will we stop people from stealing? Well, Joseph asked that question. How do you stop people from stealing? Well, there's really one surefire deterrent is make sure you're armed, and make sure you have a way to protect yourself that way. That's realistically the number one way that you're going to make sure that people don't come in and steal from you. Okay. So that's having, and I've talked about this a little bit before as well, having cash is buried around is going to really make a big difference as well. If you can do that, do it. Food, water, extra supplies, all kinds of different tools if you can, and stuff like that. If you can bury different things like that, do it. So, all right, well, we got more people in here again, so I'm going to go over again real quick what we're doing here. With my website, we are doing the way for prepper communities to get started, the way people to meet is on my website. You would go into my website, you register at my website. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. And the only way that you can get into whatever state that you're in or whatever country you're in is by registering, okay? So nobody can just come in and look and see what's going on. It's all very private. And so whatever state that you're in, and whatever states around that state, if you want to join those states as well, you can. But you're basically, if you join one state, you're going to see the information for people for just that state. Okay. So if you're like in North Carolina, but you're close to South Carolina, you might want to do South Carolina as well. And so that way you can see people that are, fairly decently close to you. You register. You get, if your name and your email and stuff like that, whatever name you're going to use for registering as far as your code name on there, have an email, contact with each other, meet on your own, talk on your own. But it's a great way. It's going to be a great way for people, like-minded people, to get together, share ideas, talk about, what they want to do. It's a great way to meet people. If you're, I know that there's been a tremendous amount of women that are by themselves that are interested in getting in together with a group. They don't know how to go about it. Well, now we're going to have a forum on my website, preppernurse1.com. You go in, you register, very private, doesn't cost anything, completely free. We set this part of it up, like I said, I've done this at my own expense because I wanted to have a way for people to meet that's safe, it's secure, it's very private. And this way you can meet, and if you see somebody and you say, wow, that person's close to me, shoot them an email. And then what you do from that point is completely up to you guys, okay? If you want to meet, if you want to talk, bounce ideas off each other, the more communications and the more people that we can, like-minded people that we can connect with each other, it's a freaking bonus for everybody. Okay, it really, really is. Again, anybody, like somebody had already asked permission if they could do a video about it to explain, and that was Prepper Rabbit. Put it out there on any kind of social media you want, guys. Put it out there for people that are interested, because there's so much stigma with being, when you say prepper, and if you say off-grid, there's so much of a negative connotation with that people think, oh, those people are crazy. Well, we know we're not crazy, okay? The people that are crazy are the ones that are not getting ready. So here's a great opportunity to find people in your state and in your country. Now, the countries that I talked about already that are going to be available right away, Wisconsin isn't listed on your site. He's working on it, so it will be. If it's not, give it a day or two. If your state's not up there yet, go in there in a day or two. He's working on everything, so it will definitely, Wisconsin will be on there, okay? So just so you know that. But the countries we're going to put up there to start out with is going to be Canada, Great Britain, Australia, Sweden, and Germany. Those are going to be the first 5. If you are from another country and you want to have something set up, hit the help button, ask for contact Mike or myself and say, could you put up this whatever country? We'll get it put up there for you. You can go in and join that country. So again, this is a great, great way for like-minded people in whatever country or state that you're in to connect and to be able to, hopefully form groups and meet people. Like I said, the best time to meet people that you will want to be working with after SHTF happens is now. So if you can meet these people now, this is the best way to do it, guys. And like I said, it's completely free. It's not costing you anything. It's very private. Nobody from the outside can just come in and look and see who's got what. You have to be registered in whatever state or country you're registered in. That's what you're going to see. If you want to be registered in more than one state, you can be. That's fine. But this is the way to contact with people, okay? Do you think we should ramp up our prepping now, or is time running out? The only time that it's too late to prep is the day after SHTF happens. So I definitely say continue to prep, continue to get ready. Whatever time that we have, guys, I always look at it as a bonus. I really, truly do. Because I've said it before, like tomorrow's not guaranteed. There's no guarantee that you're going to wake up tomorrow and those lights are going to come on. There's no guarantee of that. Now, it's happened consistently all along here for as long as we've had, power. But there's no guarantee that it's going to continue to be that way. So continue prepping, continue to get ready, and like I said, diversify with what you have. As far as food and water are going to be the biggest thing. Water is everywhere for the most part, unless you're like out in the desert and stuff like that, depending on what part of the country or the world you're in. What are your thoughts of the local thugs and military in recent week doing exercises in major cities? First of all, thank you for the donation. And yes, I know that there are, like I out in California, I saw they're doing exercises. That is very, very scary that they're doing in cities and practicing, and that's urban stuff, guys. That's practicing to lock down cities. So that is definitely cause for concern. I absolutely think that is a major cause for concern. So I would definitely say amp up your prepping. Get as ready as you can, guys. I mean, it's like, and I'm not a gloom and doomer. I don't want you guys thinking it like I'm Chicken Little and the sky is falling. That is not me. Anybody that's followed my channel for any length of time knows that is not me. But my gut has been telling me for a very, very long time that something is coming, and to continue to get ready. And that's what I continue to do. It's what I continue to try to do. And I'm going to continue to do that until that light switch flips off, or that day that happens, something happens. And then we act at that point. But the more time that you have to get ready, do it. Continue to do what you do. And even if you're doing it on a small scale, guys, it's a smart thing to do. It's any advantage you're giving yourself. Hey, Bubble Up, please. You may.
I'm gonna pull up and down. I'm probably gonna go ask him some questions.
Okay.
I can answer them. You know what I meant.
Yes. Okay. Eddie said he wants to join me here for a little bit, so we can. If you guys are going to have some questions once he jumps in here. Do you have a grinder for making flour, and can you do a video on how to make flour for bread? Okay, I don't have a grinder yet, but I do. That's one of the things I actually do plan on getting. It's something that I actually plan on getting soon. And I will definitely, once I get it, I will definitely do a video on how to grind wheat for bread and stuff like that. I will definitely do that. Can you put it in there? Here, pull that chair out a second, honey. Pull that chair out. Pull it right. Here, close it up. Pull it out. Okay. Pull it out of there. Pull the chair out, honey. Hold on, guys. Eddie's going to jump in here with me a second. We just got to make enough room. Okay, go set. Oh, no, that's not good. Okay, go set that on the floor. Okay, so slide this. Come here, Bob. Just slide it out over there. Now bring your chair over here. Okay, that's fine right there. Bring the chair over. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Eddie's going to jump in here and join me. All right. All right, Bob. Come on and have a seat.
Okay. Let me finish pouring my soda.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So Eddie's going to jump in here in a minute. Tap water and milk jugs. Yeah, I mean, you can do that too. I mean, if you're any kind of thing for water, I really wouldn't like tap water as much because you got to remember they're putting fluoride in all that. But it's better than nothing. What do I do if I'm out of the house when SHTF happens? Well, that's again having a bug out bag in your car and like that is going to be a really good thing to have if you are not home. What do you with the send hand signals?
No, like like the circle game that you're talking about.
Oh, the circle game, yeah.
Where like go like this, and you like if you look, you get punched.
Yeah. What he's talking about is the game. I used to play it when I was Holiday Health and Fitness. I was an instructor way back when I was in my early 20s, and it was called the flinch game. So there was, what you would do is if you held your hand like that and somebody looked at it and they saw it, you would punch them. Well, first of all, you had to X the spot, you would punch them, and then you had to wipe it off. That was the game that we played. And then they had one that it was called Upside Down Double Batman. Okay, you're going to love this, guys. So what the Upside Down Double Batman is your head had to be in contact with the floor. You took your hands like this, and you had to be like this, with your head on the floor, and if they looked and saw that, okay, then it was 10 shots you would give that person. And like I said, so each one you'd exit, you'd punch them, and then you'd wipe it off. But what we would do, the main part of the game was not so much that. You could get them that way too, but it was flinch. So you would like walk up to somebody and get like that, and if they went, they flinched, then that's when you would do it. So you actually trained yourself not to react when somebody was trying to hit you, which was kind of stupid, but it was just a fun game that we played with the different instructors.
Of course, like where it is now, like the whole like upside down, like so we're saying like if you look like it's more of like a haha gotcha.
Oh, okay, it's more of okay.
It's kind of like like a Rickroll, like
right. Okay,
like
so like, people are saying hi, Eddie.
Howdy. Can you drink from snow when SHTF happens?
Yes, you can drink snow. You're going to have to watch where you're getting your snow from, which you might want to take off the top layer, and in case there's animals have urinated or whatever on it. Boil that water
down from the yellow snow.
Right. Boil that water down, a rolling boil, and that water should be fine to drink. But you got to remember, if you got a great big pan, it's going to really condense down to not a whole lot of water once you boil that down. Avoid yellow snow. Yes, very, very good advice.
Illuminati cards predict emergency power terrorist and the upcoming 2020 Olympic attack on the community card.
Illuminati.
I mean, I don't think that is. I mean, that's perfect. Kind of, in my own opinion, it's kind of very far-fetched. And I mean, but if you would like, I mean, if you believe that, I mean,
Right, we could be a cartoon. If we could come up with one more Ed, we could be a cartoon. So Ed, Eddie, and then
I am Double D.
oh, missed it. If you said where we could go on your website to join the local groups under, yeah, okay. So John, thank you for the donation. If you go onto my website, we have the community for the prepping for the being able to meet people on there. You register, which is free, doesn't cost anything. Okay, go on there, you register, you go to whatever state or country that you're from, and like right now, countries wise, we're going to have the UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, and Sweden. Okay, those are going to be the countries right off the bat. If you're from a country that want to be added onto the list, contact us. We'll make up a spot for your country. You go to the website, you join. Only registered people are going to be able to see who is in their state. Okay, so if whatever state you want to be in, if you're from the United States, you join that state. If you want to be part of also a neighboring state, you join that state as well. Okay, again, this is all completely free. I set this up at my own expense, and obviously I had my IT guy behind the scenes doing what he does, working his magic, and so he's still tweaking things. Like somebody earlier had said, Wisconsin wasn't on there yet. So, he's taking care of all that, guys. He'll have everything set up. All the states, all 50 states will be on there. We'll probably do too, Mike, I know you're listening and watching this as well. Add Puerto Rico too, because we got a lot of people that go back and forth from Puerto Rico to the States a lot. So add that as well.
You should also probably add, like Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands and stuff like that. Any like U.S. territory.
Well, if anybody wants to do that, yeah, they can just ask, and we'll do that. How do you find a prepper group location on your site?
Do I have to? Yeah, I'm not a really big deep person. Not my thing. This is a Diet Coke.
Yeah, Eddie's
whatever like the Walmart equivalent of Diet Coke is. I mean,
if you go on my website and you register, you're going to see where you can join the community. There's going to be a community on there, and then once you click onto that, Mike's got that all set up on there. So he's going to, that way. I haven't gone and looked at it yet myself because we just really got it launching today. So he's been working on things, and so you're going to be able to go on there. You're going to be able to see it. I think it's in communities. And so you click on that, and then you're going to see it once you're registered. But you have to be registered. You can't just go onto the website and see it, because anybody that's just a looky-loo is not going to be able to see it, guys. So you have to be registered first. So once you're registered and you go to whatever state that you're going to be doing it in,
does anybody have any questions for me?
Okay, Hayes 541. Give me your question again. I didn't see what you said. So please ask me your question again, and I'm going to watch for it right now. Yeah, there we go. So this person just registered in all 3 states in this tri-state area: Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Exactly. Very great way to do it. Great way to do it.
Did I have a great day? I mean, it's been pretty much neutral, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, I was at Miles. I woke up. I mean, I was.
Eddie, do you have a bug out bag?
Do I have a bug out bag? I mean, I don't think
yeah,
so.
You do.
Well,
he does. He doesn't know that he does, but he does. Yeah, I have a bug out bag for all the kids. So, yeah, they all have their own bug out bag. Their bags are a lot lighter than Dad's bag.
I mean, in my case, you should probably cut down weight some more. I mean, do I help my dad prep? I'm not really. I mean, I hope it was like wood and stuff.
You do locally stuff around here that we need, but yeah.
Like, that's kind of like about it.
Yeah. And somebody has said we got to have my mom come on and chat sometime. We will definitely, when Mom comes back this spring, which will be around April.
Oh, boy.
I will definitely have her sit in with a chat with me so she can answer questions too.
My dad is awesome. I mean, that's a little bit debatable. But...
Oh, come on now. Should my son have a bug out bag at school?
I don't go to school.
No. He was saying for his son, honey.
Oh.
A smaller scale one, yes. Obviously, you can't have a knife, lighter, way to start a fire at the school. But he could have a smaller type of bug out bag, some kind of way to make sure he's got a water bottle, those type of stuff.
Is that the future me on the wall behind my dad? No, that is my dad, and that is kind of, I don't know, like unrealistic because
Come on.
muscular beard, and I am a string bean that prefers to be clean shaven for like a lot of reasons, but not reasons I'm not going to really get into. But like most of the things because
Eddie, here's a question: has your dad taught you how to use a gun yet?
no, he's finally.
Well, but you know the safeties of a gun, correct?
Yes,
We've gone over that.
Don't point it at people.
Oh, Japanese! Wow, thank you very much. Thank you for. Yep, nice to meet you. If you want, we can set up a thing for Japan too, so that like-minded preppers. If you're in Japan, I'm not saying that you're in Japan. I know it says you're Japanese, but if somebody was from Japan and wants us to set something up for a contact for Japan, we can definitely do that as well.
Do I believe was it the Grand Total minimum? Is that for like dad or me?
What was the question? You will fill out in time. Yeah, here's the funny thing, and Eddie saw pictures of me. Now Eddie is 17 now, but I showed him pictures of me when I was 16, and I looked exactly like he looks now. And so he goes to me, "Oh my God, Dad!" He goes, "I look just like you." I'm like, "Yeah." But yeah, he'll fill out.
I mean, I'm probably still going to be
Pretty lean.
pretty skinny, but like,
Yeah, the way you run around and jump around and stuff, you probably stay
do I
skinny.
eat my veggies if you count celery?
Yeah, he likes salt. He's not a big vegetable person. Not a big pet vegetable person. You actually do the survival thing near New York, I heard. I won't, like you expected, a nation of people swarming for survival. I mean, New York has more population than the entire... All right. I am about 400 miles away from New York City.
Yeah, like the general like direction is
No, well, we're away from it. That's all.
So 6 hours away from us, but I mean,
we're not close to New York City.
We're near a city in New York City. I mean, a city in New York, but not New York.
Well,
Like
we're south of Rochester, New York. Yeah, so Eddie loves his applesauce. Yes, he does.
The only time I didn't like my applesauce was when I had my wisdom teeth removed out of that mom's and puked all over the floor because the anesthetics that they gave me, like my body really didn't exactly agree with.
So what somebody asked, will I have my kids take up a combat role in SHTF?
Eddie,
Eddie probably couldn't handle that, to be honest with you. Heather definitely could, and she will. But Eddie would be more of the person reloading.
Reloading or logistics.
Yeah, you would be helping out that way. You believe me, he would have a role to help, but as far as a combat role, no.
What is?
But Heather, yes.
What is my favorite TV show? I mean, definitely not a lot.
What will I do with my pets when SHTF happens? I will keep them. I don't have any intention of getting rid of my pets, none whatsoever.
Although,
and I prep for my pets as well.
My favorite Burger Hurt off of the Bang Switch. I mean, now with my favorite show, I mean, I really enjoy BarrelBots. I grew up.
Am I familiar with Rockland County, New York? Not really. Alaska Prepper. I'm really not. I think that's way north, if I'm not mistaken. Is that up in the Adirondacks? How can I let people see my email on the site? That is a good question.
Do I like zombie movies or shows? I mean, I'm not a big fan of the zombie stuff, but I do enjoy post-apocalyptic stuff, like the Book of Eli, the game series Fallout.
What do you do if you're out of the house when SHTF happens? You asked that question already before, and like I said, the best thing you can do is have some kind of a bug out bag in your vehicle. You should always have that anyway.
Who is my favorite actress? I do quite enjoy. I know his name, but his. I'm sorry. I'm not exactly although like I'm going like around like million miles per second, but I know his name.
Yeah, the Ace of Spades. If you're looking at the chat, look at what the Watchman just wrote. He's going to tell you how to get to see other people, to share your email. Eddie, do you like the Mad Max movies?
I personally haven't seen them, but they might be right.
I'll have to have them watch that. Yeah, so I have to them watch with Thunderdome.
Shiny and Chrome.
Rockland, New York is near.
How was it?
Oh, it's in the Bronx, north of the Bronx. Okay, in Westchester. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with that area. We're like I said, we're quite a ways away.
How was the transition for both of you going from city life to homesteading?
Well, we were suburbia, not city.
Well, I mean, personally, I do miss our old house in Berkshire, and I generally prefer like the more suburban life, or just something that I'm more comfortable with. I mean, but like it was a very kind of like something that like more sooner than we expected, and like the first, it was kind of very rough for me, and it was a transition for me. And from school, as I mentioned like last year, like because like the resources of this being like an hour south of Rochester, like in the Genesee Valley in rural New York, it wasn't as well equipped as the city. And the like school, like the BOCES that I was going to, they had more. It was more or less like
most important to have for an EMP attack.
Do you
if you have a Faraday cage and have things in a Faraday cage, that would be the most important thing. To have backup communications. Those type of things, definitely very, very important if you can do that, because communication is going to be a huge, huge thing in a post SHTF, especially if it's an EMP.
Do I like porn like all teenage kids do?
Come on, no, that question you don't answer. That, you know what? That's not funny. That's not funny. Let's not talk porn with my kid, okay? Very inappropriate. So you don't answer stuff like that.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you believe in the solar sun minimum? Yeah, I think we're going through a grand solar minimum right now. I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
With my own opinion, now coming from someone who's a more scientific standpoint, my dad doesn't quite exactly agree with me, but I think a part of like the sun and the sunspots do.
All right, Henry Hildreth, Mike, please block them because they're being a jerk. You see him? Block him, please.
Or like if there was spamming.
Thank you.
You're gonna see them out, but
see, guys, you know what? Again, there's always going to be a jerk, and I understand that, and they're just looking for attention. Oh, pay attention to me. But this is about family friendly. We're going to be decent to each other. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Please be kind to each other. Have respect for everybody else. Okay, so.
With my whole stuff, I'm part of the National Minimum. I think like with the sunspots on Earth, I think they might have like in effect, because the little ice age like a while like from the 18th or 17th century, I want to say, like where like which was like a more like the amount of sunspots, or like how like I can't remember the exact specifics. I think the way like the sun should. Because like
no kidding, I agree with you, Gary.
The like energy getting out from the sun like to the earth might have a thing, but I think also like humans and the way we treat our environment, greenhouse gases and the like.
Microgreens, okay. Somebody just asked my thought of indoor gardening with microgreens. I think that's a really good idea, especially if you live in an apartment or if you live in a city and you can't put a garden in. Microgreens are definitely a good thing to do. And it's a really good way of prepping as well. So what I'm going to do again, just because I'm going to be doing this throughout this video because people come in and out. We're doing a prepper community on my website, preppernurse1.com. And so if you're looking to get with like-minded people from your state or in a tri-state area, those type of things, you go ahead to my website, you register, which is completely free. It's not going to cost you anything. and then whatever state you're from, you can register for that state. You can register for whatever, you can register for all 50 states if you want, but you're really trying to connect with people locally to you. So like in a tri-state area is a good way of doing it. And hold on, honey, I want to say this part real quick. Okay, so again, if you're looking to, and it's very, very private, people that are not registered can't come in and look and see what's going on. You have to be registered at the site. Again, preppernurse1.com to hook up with like-minded people. Once you connect with those people, you do it completely on your own through email. You can exchange your phone numbers then, if however you want to do it, to talk with people in your area. And it's a great way to talk with, number one, like-minded people that are in your state. And if you're trying to form communities and groups, it's another great way to meet people. And with meeting people, you can weed out who you don't want to be around or who you do want to be around. So doing all that now is a great way of doing it. And again, it's going to be completely free on my website, and it's just a great way to meet people. Okay, so that's I just wanted to put that out there again real quick.
Okay, so as I was saying about like the grand sort minimum, like I do believe.
Could I put in a seniors category? Yeah, we could probably do that. I'll have to talk with Mike. We'll have to make another separate category for seniors. We can do that.
Okay, so as I was saying before, Dad kind of like jumped the gun over on me.
Well, people keep asking questions that you gotta be boom boom with
Okay, so as I was saying, I think like the
AK or AR-15, which do I prefer? AK all day long.
Very
twice on Sundays.
You can stuff a ham sandwich through the receiver of an AK and it was still firing. Do I like thrifting? Yeah, I mean I do. Good getting stuff that's been used and at a lower cost and might not be as good as quality as the store buys. Sure as how cheaper.
Well, language again, please. So yes, yeah, it's no, the reason I like an AK-47 over an AR-15, AR-15 gets dirty too quick, and an AK-47 you could drop it in the creek, pull it out the next day, and the thing is still going to fire. So I definitely prefer an AK over an AR-15. That's just my personal preference.
About the grand total minimum, I think like the energy from the sun.
Oh, did Mike already make the seniors category? I was issued an AR-15 made by Mattel. How about having a get-together when it gets warmer? I definitely would love to do that, guys. I would definitely love to have a get-together, and I may do that. And see, when I was in the service, I had an M16, and again, M16 over an AK, never. I would rather have an AK-47. And what? No, well, I'm almost. Well, if you want to hang out, or do you want to go?
Hang out.
Okay. Well, then leave the cat. He's sleeping. Okay, just let him sleep. Yep. They are AK-47s and SKS are great rifles, man. They will take a beating. You can really beat the crap out of them.
Always trust the Simonov.
What is your ideas for the different types of currency during SHTF trade and barter items? I do always recommend that you have some silver. Not a tremendous amount. I wouldn't have thousands of dollars worth of silver, but I would have, a couple $100 worth of silver. Okay. And it's small denomination coins, dimes, quarters, those type of things. Okay. You can get just the small bars too, if you want. It's 1 ounce bars. So that's another way to do it. But, the more, I think that what's going to be more valuable in an SHTF situation is barter items. Excuse me. Luxury items that people don't think about, that people are going to want to have. Think about, being able to shave or those type of things. I think those are going to be a very, very big things. Okay, as far as being confirmed at a website, guys, that'll happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Okay, but so a lot of people signed up, I guess, but not a lot of people have been confirmed yet. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Everybody, it's got to work all through that whole process, so it will definitely be happening. But anyway, barter items are going to be a really important thing to have. Things like I said, if you can have a good quantity of rice,
yeah, there's a cat like that.
That's okay. That's something that's a barter item. 1 pound bags of rice, 1 pound bag of beans, or something like that. Those are going to be really something that's going to be worth a lot of money in an SHTF event. So, and other things like that is going to be really. Oh, Mike has to confirm everyone. Okay, that's Mike is actually monitoring the chat, so he's got to confirm everybody yet. So that's why you guys haven't got your notifications yet. We got about 8 minutes to go, on the chat, and then he'll be doing his thing. So he's like doing double duty right now. Okay. You want to jump in? No.
Where'd you have the cookies that Christine made? I know you hid them.
No, actually, I didn't. They should be right on the counter.
They haven't been there. I've been looking.
Well, look some more. Look under stuff because I never touched them.
Okay.
Unless you ate them all already.
No, I had like 2.
Okay, well, then they should be there, honey.
Does everybody have any other questions for me? I didn't finish explaining the whole grand solar minimum.
Well, see, that's the thing. We can't take 20 minutes, Eddie, to explain one thing. That's unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time in an hour chat, okay? So people are looking for that quick answer. And I understand you want to give them a thorough answer. I understand that.
Yeah, like I'm probably not the person with like.
I am a nurse, but where is your greenhouse? I've done solar panels since this. I do plan on hopefully this year putting a greenhouse in. That is definitely going to be done.
I'm gonna go.
What? Oh, I'm gonna go. Okay, honey. What are my thoughts on hydro farming? I think it's a good idea. I know that I want to do an aquaponic system myself. So I think that's a really any way that you can do things that are different that's going to help you get a better yield. I think that's a good thing. So Fred, thank you first of all for the donation, and I hope that kind of answers your questions. But I think it's a great thing. Anything that you can use to better your situation and get a better yield than a regular garden, I think that's definitely the way to go. I myself, like I said, I want to do when I put in my greenhouse, guys, it's going to be geothermal number 1, and it's also going to be an aquaponic system. That's the way I want to set up my garden. So there's a little bit of expense involved with that. So that is definitely something that I'm going to be working on. That is definitely going to happen. So I definitely do plan on having that. Sunken in or on top of the ground. With the geothermal, it'll be on top of the ground because it's going to be with the aquaponic system. You actually use stone. You don't use soil with that. So that's why it's going to be above ground. Oh, Rod, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Mike, thank you again. What is my opinion for convicted felons? What is your opinion, or what is going to be like for convicted felons? Well, hopefully you're not in prison when SHTF happens. If you're a convicted felon and you're already out of prison, you're just an average citizen. As far as I'm concerned, we've all made mistakes. All of us have. Okay, so depending on the severity of what you've done, and my thing is be honest with people. I mean, if somebody is a rapist or like a pedophile, they're not going to be honest with you anyway. Okay, so people are not going to want those type of people. But if you say you've killed somebody in a manslaughter type of situation and you've got a felony conviction because of that, like a bar fight or a vehicular manslaughter type of thing, that doesn't make you a bad person. You made a mistake, and so I don't think that everybody should be judged on one mistake. If you have a record a mile long, that's a whole different ball game. But I think that we've all made mistakes, and I think that as long as you're honest with people, and I think that's going to go a long way, especially after SHTF happens. When you're away from home, carry a small backpack with you so you can get home. Absolutely. Always have in your vehicle, or if you're going on whatever you're doing, have some kind of a bug out bag that you have access to in that type of an emergency situation. It's going to help you get home. It could save your life. It really, really can. Let's see. Mike asked burglary. I don't know what your question is, Mikey 184. I don't know what your question is with that. If we get nuked, will there be food? Will all the food be bad because of radiation? in those particular areas where they were nuked, yeah, the food in those areas would probably not be good. Anything that was already made before then, as long as it's in a secure area, it's going to be okay. But after an SHTF event, if there was a cannery that was continuing to produce stuff in that area, I wouldn't eat it then. But like I said, hopefully before an SHTF event happens, that you had your stuff together. Adapt 2030 and Oppenheimer Ranch Project, both of you, great info for the Grand Solar Minimum. Oh, thank you, Bill. Bill of Rights Coffee. I like that. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Yeah, they have those two channels that he just mentioned are great information on Grand Solar Minimum, and I talk about that all the time. Oppenheimer Ranch Project, and he said Adapt 2030, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But you can look in the comments and see it in there. So, nice beard. Well, thank you. It's growing. It's getting there. I've been using a beard oil on it to try to make it better. So it's getting there. I didn't see what your conviction was, Mike. I'm sorry. Oh, burglary. Yeah, you know what? That's not anything. People make mistakes. Okay, so you're a convicted felon because of burglary. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. You know what? People make mistakes. As long as you're not continuing to go out and do the same type of stuff now that you're out, I don't think that people should hold that against you. And I mean, I realize that people are going to do that as far as jobs and stuff like that, but unfortunately, that does happen. But there's a lot of people out there have been convicted of stuff, and I know a young man right now that he had an issue with drugs actually, and he ended up getting a burglary conviction, and he has a felony conviction on his record. And he got off the drugs, got himself clean, and actually now has just been accepted into law school. So it's a kid I love this kid. I've known him since he was 8 years old, and he is in his late 20s now. Love this kid, great kid. So he really turned his life around. So we all make mistakes. It's what we do and what lessons we learn from those mistakes. Okay. Sherry, thank you very much for the donation, hon. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Ed James. I appreciate that. Like I said, guys, again, so I'm going to get ready to jump off of here. So I want to say one more time to everybody, my website, preppernurse1.com, a way to connect with other preppers in the state that you live in. Go there and you register. Only people that are registered are going to be able to see the other people from that, from their state. Or so if you want to join the surrounding states of where you live, that's the way to do it. Every state that you register in, then people from that state can see you. And then it's a great way to meet like-minded people and to talk with people that are in the same mindset that we are. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to be, they think we're crazy and everything else. So this is a great way to connect. It's absolutely free. It's not going to cost anybody anything to join. And this way you can connect. If you want to create groups with people, it's completely up to you. Contact people from your state and stuff like that. But it's a great way of doing it. Okay. So anyway, guys, I like to end all my shows with the same way. Remember, we are all in this together. So this is a whole thing with this community that we're making on the website too. Okay, it's another great way to connect with like-minded people. Very, very private. Any of your information is not going to be others seen on anybody's information is only going to be seen by two people: me and my IT guy. Okay, the information that you put out there for your state, the people from your state can see it to be able to contact you. So we are all in this together, and this is a great way to connect. Okay. Remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen, okay? So that's really, really important. And remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever goals you're trying to reach, you can get there if you work at things methodically, okay? You really can. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. That's it. Nobody else can stop you, okay? So I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the chat tonight. Thank you for the donations. I really appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. It really helps. Anything that's ever donated goes right back into the homestead to help us accomplish our goals that we're trying to get done here. All right. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.